These toy guns, well, they can really actually replicate a real firearm.
Kids kept doing the Orbeez challenge until someone lost their life.
What's good, YouTube? Today we're gonna be looking at the dumbest TikTok trends ever. Yup, we got more. All right, apparently there's so much trends that it's ridiculous. Without further ado, let's get started.
A new trend on social media is raising serious concern among local police departments.
What?
It involves people shooting innocent bystanders with water pellets.
Please. Yeah, let me go ahead and start walking and somebody shoots me with the water pellet. I'm shooting you with an actual bullet. Now we're tied.
Don't pee your pants for TikTok.
I'm not even 20 seconds into this video and the amount of utter bullshittery that I'm hearing. What am I hearing?
This is perhaps one of the dumbest challenges next to eating Tide Pods that I've ever witnessed.
TikTok is not reality to real life, but there's real consequences for some of those things that go on there.
Who is peeing their pants for TikTok? Oh yeah, let me go viral for being a nasty person. Let me show the world I pee my pants. Like, virality at the cost of you looking like an idiot is not worth it.
TikTok created the internet's worst challenges. And as of right now, TikTok could potentially be banned. Today, we'll explore the dumbest TikTok trends ever, starting with weird ones to straight up insane. So my goal this year is to give you guys double the amount of videos without sacrificing quality. And to do that, we gotta keep growing. So 75% of you guys aren't subscribed, and it would mean the world to me if you did, and I promise to do my very best. I'm Visual Venture, and you are awesome.
Let's get it.
The pee in your pants challenge. People.
I've never seen this on TikTok, and I think I'm a pretty chronic TikTok watcher. Who is peeing their pants for fun?
Usually join TikTok trends to look cool, but the pee in your pants challenge was different because it was just embarrassing. It began in April 2020 when a guy named Liam Wire filmed.
Oh, apparently Mr. Piss Air probably got his name from this shit. Don't pee your pants. I'm not surprised at all that this is during the COVID era. The COVID era probably breeded some of the most dumbest things known to mankind.
Filmed himself peeing his pants. Then he posted the video online.
Pee your pants challenge.
Liam made the video as a joke. He just wanted to make fun of how ridiculous TikTok challenges had become. But people didn't get that joke. Instead, they thought he was trying to start a new trend. And just like that, the pee your pants challenge took off. TikTokers everywhere started filming themselves.
1,533 people decided to show everyone that they'd pee their pants. At least a quarter of them is real. At the very minimum. Because not everyone might understand the joke or really knew. And let's be real. Who's on TikTok the most? Teenagers. So the fact that there's teens out there peeing their pants to be viral is sad.
In front of mirrors, wetting themselves. Anyone watching the video could see the wet spot on their pants.
Pee your pants challenge.
TikTok eventually deleted Liam's video.
Good.
But that didn't stop the challenge from spreading. This was during the lockdown when people were stuck at home and desperate for entertainment. At its peak, the pee your pants challenge hit over 4 million.
You don't know that TikToker? That was the dude who peed his pants. Look, before y'all do some of these TikTok challenges or you make TikToks, really think to yourself, how do I want to be portrayed? Do I want to be known as that funny dude, the comedian, the one that makes everyone laugh, or the one that's going viral for pissing their pants and being nasty? Like, I swear, some of y'all gotta realize, if you're gonna be a content creator wanting to go viral, do it for the right things, please.
Views on TikTok. But although it was getting a lot of attention, most people obviously found it disgusting.
Please, don't pee your pants for TikTok. This is perhaps one of the dumbest challenges next to eating Tide Pods that I've ever witnessed.
But it wasn't just gross. There were real consequences for those who took part in the challenge. The biggest problem was that the internet never forgets. Anyone who did this challenge now has a video of them peeing their pants on the internet forever. And with many employers now checking social media before hiring, they could easily find those embarrassing videos.
If I was competing for a job, because you know now degrees, you're not gonna get a good job with just one degree. You could, but it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna look at every competitor that wants the job and just search their name on TikTok. You could probably deduce 75% of the competition by doing that. Imagine finding out someone that wants a job peed on their pants.
The challenge eventually faded, but it left an important lesson behind. Trends end, but embarrassment lasts forever. This next trend also seemed harmless, but it could easily send people to the emergency room. The raw dogging challenge.
I'm sorry, what? What is this challenge called? Let me get a good explanation for what the title is, because let me find out this is a challenge where people are smashing raw.
In 2023, Apple TV released a show called Hijack. It was an interesting story, but no one expected it to spark one of TikTok's dumbest trends. In the Hijack show, the main character spends 7 hours on a plane without using any devices for entertainment to pass the time. He endured the long flight with 0 distractions. Somehow, this inspired TikTokers to do the same. By June 2024, people were posting videos of themselves raw dogging flights. This meant no scrolling on their phone, no music, no reading. They would just sit there for hours staring straight ahead. They called it the raw dogging challenge. The first
Is it bad? Okay, what's the negatives about this? It's not the worst thing in the world, but I could see how somebody's gonna look at that and be like, yo bro, like, do you need help? And some people are gonna think that they're just stuck. No, it is dumb. It's pretty dumb though. What do you gain from that? It's not funny, it's just weird.
It seemed like an interesting endurance test. Some called it the ultimate dopamine detox to reset the brain. But as always, TikTok took it way too far. Participants added extra rules like no sleeping, no drinking water, and no snacking or eating. The more extreme it got, the more people tried to outdo each other. Soon, raw dogging flights wasn't just a trend. It was a competition who could last the longest. Even celebrities, rappers, and athletes joined, posting their own entries. Before long, the challenge even had an unofficial score.
I'm sorry, y'all don't understand how much dopamine I need. I can't stare at a wall for an hour. A lot of these gotta be fake. You can't convince me.
Card. And since it turned into a contest, people started cheating. Some actually raw dogged flights while others just faked it. Like Nathan Daw, who posted a TikTok claiming he raw dogged a 9-hour flight. But there was one problem. The airline he flew didn't even have flights that long. Then there was comedian Danny Duncan. He said that he raw dogged an 18-hour flight, but his clip was up.
That's good though. Honestly, I feel like you should fake it, bro. Anyone that's actually staring at a chair for 9 hours, you're demented. Please actually like really seek help.
Obviously a joke, but not everyone picks up on these jokes. So these fake videos inspire more people to actually participate. And that's where the real problem started, because most TikTokers didn't understand that this challenge could actually be dangerous. Taking long flights without food or water increases the risk of dehydration. Planes already dry you out, and this only makes dehydration worse.
Am I the only person figuring this out for the first time? Planes make you dehydrated? I swear I don't be feeling thirsty when I'm on a flight.
At sea level, the average humidity in the air is 40 to 50%, where in an aircraft it can be as low as 10%. If your body isn't used to that level of humidity, you can rapidly dehydrate.
But dehydration wasn't the only danger.
So not only are you dehydrating yourself by just sitting in the cabin, your blood is also losing a lot of oxygen by breathing in such thin air constantly.
Airplane air is way thinner than what we breathe on the ground. That's why people feel lightheaded or exhausted after a long flight. The lower oxygen levels make it harder for the body to function properly. But most TikTokers didn't understand the risks, so they kept going. Luckily, the media stepped in just in time. One article read, "Idiots are doing this on planes and it's dangerous." They ripped the raw dogging challenge apart, listing all the ways it could go wrong.
I gotta see a time where it did go wrong, because any person with at least a couple functioning brain cells gonna realize, as I'm doing this challenge, if I'm feeling a little weird, then I'm gonna go and drink some water. You know, because at the end of the day, no one is gonna know if you actually raw dogged or not, unless you have like a time-lapse video of them looking at you for the whole duration of the flight.
Other media personalities called the trend pointless.
Being a person, being present in the space you're physically occupying, even that we now call a trend.
As news outlets criticized and pointed out the dangers, the challenge started losing momentum. And by the end of 2024, TikTokers abandoned the raw dogging challenge and moved on to the next viral trend.
Have any of y'all seen this trend and did you laugh at it? If you're gonna make something trend, at least let it be funny. And I feel like don't take trends too serious. Why would you look at the back of a plane seat for 9 hours?
We already know that TikTok is full of terrible health advice, but this next challenge might be the dumbest health trend ever. The beer tanning challenge.
Huh?
The beer tanning trend probably started because of a shocking claim that spread on TikTok. In July 2023, a TikToker posted a video warning that using sunscreen was actually dangerous.
They're literally rubbing cancer into our skins.
The District of New York follows a report by online pharmacy Valisure, which detected high levels of benzene in several brands and batches of sunscreen.
You know what the sad thing is? Someone probably got cancer because of this misinformation.
He explained that some sunscreens contain benzene, which is a chemical suspected of causing cancer. That was all people needed to hear. The video went viral, getting over 5 million views. Viewers were scared, but they were also confused. If sunscreen was dangerous, what were people supposed to use instead? TikTok had an answer: beer. Barely a month after the sunscreen controversy blew up, a new TikTok trend started. It was called the beer tanning challenge. People would film themselves rubbing beer all over their skin, then lie out in the sun. The idea was that the hops in beer boosted melanin in the skin, speeding up the tanning process.
So we're all just being idiots. Not only are you musty, but you're gonna go outside with everyone out there smelling your must and let the sun burn your beer smell and have it even more smelly. Apparently being disgusting is a trend.
Oh boy, what's happening here? Yeah, this guy's pouring beer all over himself here. This is the latest trend on TikTok, beer tanning.
At first, it sounded like a crazy theory, but soon people started posting before and after shots showing off their deep tans. Some even swore beer worked better than sunscreen. Within weeks, the beer tanning challenge became very popular. Videos with the hashtag beer tan.
Am I the only one that looks at tanning like it's stupid? Like, do you not like your original skin color? Do people just like the skin color? Maybe I just don't understand the hype.
And skyrocketed to almost 300,000 views, and more people joined the challenge. But while TikTokers were celebrating their bronzed skin, one group was trying to shut down this challenge ASAP. Dermatologists hated the beer tanning challenge and called it downright dangerous. For starters, the science behind beer tanning was completely bogus.
Apparently, the hops in the beer stimulate the production of melatonin, which leads to a tan. But there's absolutely no evidence to support this.
Beer has 0 SPF, which means it doesn't protect the skin from sunburn like proper sunscreen does. Even with sunscreen, 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer. Swapping sunscreen for beer only
Yo, how bad is skin cancer? I'm black, so I don't think I could get skin cancer, but
increases that risk. As the media covered the dangers, the backlash grew. Eventually, TikTok stepped in. They banned the beer tanning challenge and started removing any videos promoting it. And since TikTok was suppressing the beer tanning challenge, it gradually disappeared. This next
why don't we ban the account that spread that initial misinformation?
Trend caused nothing but pain and discomfort. But that's exactly what made people want to try it.
Okay.
No Poop July.
Could y'all imagine how terrible these people smell? Imagine all the hemorrhoids that is just collecting in their stomach and they're just not letting it go. Y'all are disgusting. If you don't poop for a long time, does the poop just naturally come out? Because I'm thinking to myself, there's no way you could actually go a whole month without pooping.
The No Poop July challenge is as ridiculous as it sounds. The goal is simple: don't use the toilet for the entire month of July. Every year, hundreds of people join in posting TikTok videos to show how long they can last. But before we find out if anyone actually pulled it off, there's a bigger question. How did such a ridiculous trend even start? In July 2020, a TikToker named OK Kron posted a video looking extremely uncomfortable. The text on the screen read, "Day 1 of No Poop July." OK Kron's face said it all. He was struggling to hold it in, but the caption made it even funnier. It said, "Can I make it till the end?" It was a bold question, and thousands wanted to see if OK Kron could actually laugh.
Here's the problem with TikTok, bro. I've noticed a lot of people don't know what a joke is. Anything that is seen as a joke is taken as fact. It literally says funny meme.
His video received 84,000 likes, and the comments were full of people cheering him on. As the days passed, OK Kron kept the suspense going with dramatic updates. Each new video showed him looking worse, sweat pouring down his face, pained facial expressions, and lots of squirming. The more uncomfortable he looked, the more excited viewers got.
I'm actually curious, what happens if you don't poop? To avoid severe complications like bowel obstruction or rupture, it should not be ignored. Imagine your bowels rupture just because you don't want to take a number 2. All for some TikTok likes.
Viewers weren't sure if he was kidding or if he was really holding it in for a month.
Wait, can you die from not pooping?
But it was entertaining regardless. Then, just as July was coming to an end, there was a twist.
You might know him as the kid who hasn't pooped for 26 days, but today we found proof that he lied to us.
No Poop July, though. Did you fail? Be real.
Yeah, obviously, like, I'd be in the hospital.
Did y'all need to expose him for that? Was that not inherently obvious? If anything, I'm glad that it's fake. Why would you want that shit to be real?
Simple, funny video. OK Kron admitted he failed the challenge. Up until this moment, No Poop July wasn't even a trend. It was just one guy doing something dumb for laughs. However, it got people wondering if it was possible to go an entire month without pooping. They were determined to find out. TikTok quickly dug up a real-life case that made the challenge seem possible. It was about a man who held it in for a very long time.
And while
he was waiting behind bars, Lamar went on a poop strike. He simply refused to go to the bathroom altogether. He didn't go to the bathroom for literally 47 straight days.
Suddenly, No Poop July didn't seem like it was just a joke. So by July 2021, 1 year after the original challenge, it started trending again. This time, more TikTokers joined in, posting videos of themselves trying to hold it in. And some of them were taking the challenge seriously. Even OK Kron came back for the 2021 challenge, posting daily updates just like before. Then in July 2022, No Poop July returned for the 3rd year in a row. That's when doctors realized this was becoming an annual event and they were horrified. Worried doctors begged people not to try the challenge.
Yeah, I don't blame them. Imagine having an influx of patients talking to you about, "Doctor, my asshole doesn't feel too well. I haven't pooped in such a long time. Can you just check it?" I would make a PSA too. I don't get paid enough to look at people's ass cheeks.
This is not normal because if you're not having a bowel movement every day, it could lead to abdominal pain, gas, bloating, and other issues.
But instead of dying down, it exploded. The 2023 edition of No Poop July racked up 80 million views in just a few weeks.
Dude, it's July. You know what that means?
I don't know what that means.
Just look on TikTok. It's No Poop July. Oh no!
The 2024 edition crossed 100 million views. But 2024 was special because OK Kron, the TikToker who started it all, decided to turn the ridiculous trend into something meaningful. To everyone's surprise, he announced that he donated about $1,000 worth of toilet paper to various charities. OK Kron's donation meant that something positive came out of this dumb challenge. Hopefully, No Poop July won't return in 2025. But with how popular it's gotten, it probably will. The next trend on our list.
I'm starting something new. No Nut November. Hear me out. November, nobody beats their meat. I don't think anyone's ever thought of that.
Was mostly done by women, and it backfired in the worst way possible. The Silhouette Challenge.
This is the one with the red light, right? Oh my goodness. The amount of people I exposed by doing this shit. I knew the trend. I used to adjust the filter. No, I'm trolling. I'm not gonna lie. I feel bad for anyone that actually did this challenge because I'm pretty sure there was an app that exposed how you actually look like under your silhouette.
Hundreds of women took part in this challenge, but they had no idea that this trend would make them targets for creeps and trolls on the internet. The challenge started in January 2021 when a TikToker named Orbeez posted a video with a unique editing style. The silhouette effect with the red background looked amazing. Within hours, Orbeez's comments were flooded with people begging for a tutorial. They wanted to make their own versions. Orbeez listened. That same day, she posted a step-by-step guide. To create the silhouette effect, they just needed to use a red tinted filter from Snapchat or TikTok. Before long, TikTokers everywhere were trying it out. They called it the Silhouette Challenge. Even celebrities joined the trend.
So turn on the light in your bathroom.
Okay.
Go in your door arch, okay? And just whatever you want to do.
At its peak, the Silhouette Challenge got more than 200 million views on TikTok.
Did y'all care about this challenge? I knew girls that did this and then they put like their favorite anime character holding them down. Like I remember seeing some of like Levi. Levi is like 4'3" by the way. I will say this, the busted challenge is way better than this.
But like most TikTok trends, it didn't take long for things to go wrong. Because the challenge was showing off body shapes, the participants wore as little as possible. Others wore nothing at all. After all, the red filter was—
I'm sorry, if you're raw dogging this challenge, you're an idiot.
To hide everything, leaving only a shadow. But it turns out the filter wasn't foolproof. Before long, some creeps online figured out how to remove the filter. And once they took it off, they could see everything, if you catch my drift. Wow. Suddenly, tutorials on how to remove the red filter started popping up everywhere. And since there were hundreds of Silhouette Challenge videos online, creeps were having a field day. People even created subreddits like Silhouette Unfiltered to share Silhouette Challenge videos with the filters removed. Panic spread fast.
That's a Reddit?
Share Silhouette Challenge videos with the filters removed. Panic spread fast. Suddenly, TikTokers were warning everyone to stay away from the Silhouette Challenge.
Yes.
Or at least wear clothes while doing it.
So word of warning, if you're going to make a video as part of the Silhouette Challenge, keep your clothes on. People are attempting to revert the videos back to their normal coloring, and that can reveal things that viewers aren't supposed to see.
For some, the warnings came in time, but for others, it was too late. Their videos had been downloaded, altered, and shared to creeps across the internet. TikTok tried to help by banning filter removal tutorials and shutting down accounts spreading them. But instead of being relieved, some victims blamed TikTok for not acting sooner. One thing was clear, the Silhouette Challenge should have never existed. This next trend wasn't just dumb, it was also a crime. The Chase Bank Glitch.
if you think you could trick a bank with their resources and the amount of money they got to track down everyone that's done it, you're an idiot.
On September 1st, 2024, TikTokers were buzzing with excitement. The reason was because they thought they found a way to get free money, thousands of dollars completely free. They called it the Chase Bank glitch.
So what people would do, they would write a big check that they didn't have the money for, a bad check, and then they would immediately take money away from an ATM.
Just like the guy explained, they would write a check for more money than they had in their Chase Bank account and deposit it. These checks were fake because their accounts had no money to back them up. Then, before the bank could catch on, they would rush to an ATM and withdraw the check's full amount.
Okay, this looks like a skit, but you gotta be an idiot to actually figure out a method that works and tell the whole world that you're doing it. Like you wouldn't get caught.
In other words, they were scamming the bank for free cash. As word spread, the hashtag Chase Bank glitch started trending on TikTok. Within hours, people were lined up at Chase Bank ATMs eager to cash in.
Nah, I said it's heavy. It's lined up.
Can y'all not make it any, more obvious?
No, this is elephant.
There was one small problem. The so-called glitch was actually a crime. As more people heard about the trend, financial experts explained why the Chase Bank glitch was actually check fraud.
Make no mistake, in every sense of the word, this is check fraud. You are knowingly writing fake checks. And to make it even worse, you are committing a felony against yourself.
Anyone caught committing check fraud can face huge fines, prison time, and even a lifetime ban from opening a bank account.
Chase will alert every other bank that you try to go to, and you may possibly never be able to get an account. You have to.
But despite all the warnings, the Chase Bank glitch kept trending on TikTok. Some posted screenshots of their bank balances as
$9 million? What happened to not making it burn? You think they're not gonna try to hawk someone down that has $9 million? If you're gonna do this glitch and try to be like under the Matrix, maybe at most $10,000. $9 million. They're gonna track you down.
proof that it worked. Others saw a chance to cash in, selling step-by-step guides.
I will also say this to anyone that looks at people on the internet that talk about they have the method and then they flex $100,000 in cash and they're talking about, oh, tap in with me, I'll show you the method. Buddy, I'm sorry to tell you this. You're the method. You think people are just gonna tell you how to make money for free? Use your brain. They want your money to actually make money because the money they have is clearly fake.
Or charging fees to teach people how to pull it off. But it was only a matter of time before the bosses at Chase Bank realized TikTokers were stealing from them. And when they did, they were furious. On September 2nd, barely 24 hours after the glitch went viral, Chase Bank shut it down. The bank released a statement saying the glitch was fixed. Fake checks wouldn't work anymore. And just to make things clear, they added, depositing a fraudulent check and withdrawing the funds from your account is fraud, plain and simple. Now everyone who took advantage of the glitch was panicking, and they had good reason to be worried because Chase Bank was coming after them. By October 2024, the bank started suing those who used the glitch. One person stole $335,000 during the glitch. Chase didn't stop there. They identified accounts that deposited those fake checks, froze them, and took back whatever money was left. Most of those accounts ended up with negative account balances with a bunch of zeros.
What did you expect? What happens if you don't pay it back for like a long time? Like what if you just start a new account? Because a lot of times with debit cards, isn't it just you spend the amount that you have? Credit cards are the one where it's like, oh, you messed up. Oh, it's just their credit score is fried?
Man, they really told me to tap in. Next day I was supposed to clear. Look at my account, yo.
Soon arrest.
Clearly, if you still have the money, you should be able to return it. Why did you spend all that amount in once?
Began. Those who thought they scored free money were charged and tried in court. The Chase Bank glitch became a brutal lesson. Don't commit a financial crime because someone on TikTok told you it was cool. This next trend took—
Or just don't commit a felony charge at all. I feel like with scammers, bro, you're playing with your life, bro. Because as soon as somebody finds out you're scamming, you could go to jail for a long ass time, bro.
An ordinary daily activity and turned it into something idiotic. The cereal challenge. Here's how the challenge—
Sign me up! What we in? Cinnamon Toast Crunch? What's the problem with this?
Challenge works. Two people had to participate. One person lay down with their mouth wide open while the other poured cereal and milk in. Then—
Is that James Charles? Calm down, calm down. I'm not doing anything crazy, bro.
The second person had to eat the cereal straight from their mouth using a spoon to pass the—
Oh!
The challenge, the person on the bottom had to keep their mouth open while the second person ate from it. Some managed to keep their mouths open long enough to complete the challenge. Others ended up coughing soaked in milk. Huge influencers with millions of followers joined the trend. And with that kind of reach, the cereal challenge spread faster.
Doing the cereal challenge with my sister.
Am I the only one that think this is weird? No, I'm not doing this shit with my siblings, bro. At the end of the day, that's your saliva that is coating up in your mouth. I'm not doing this with anybody, but especially not my siblings.
Some even decided to involve their pets in the challenge, and you do not want to see those videos. But the
Yo, I hate when people act like pets don't be like licking themselves. Like they don't be licking their nuts. They don't be licking other like pets. They don't be licking the ground. People who tongue down their pets, you actually concern me.
The challenge was also pretty risky. If the person lying down inhaled milk or cereal, they could legitimately choke and suffocate. This trend was all risk with zero reward. Luckily, the cereal challenge didn't last long.
It's
but
all
while it
risk.
was trending,
it's all risk and all nastiness. You don't gain any reward. It's literally just disgusting.
it proved people will do just about anything for 15 minutes of fame, even if it puts their health on the line. This next trend was one of the dumbest and most dangerous ones out there. The Orbeez challenge.
Okay.
In 2022, the Orbeez challenge was so notorious that people threatened to arrest anyone caught doing it. To understand why, you first need to know what Orbeez are. Orbeez are tiny beads that swell up when soaked in
I rock with Orbeez. What's wrong with this?
water.
There are 1 million Orbeez in this bath. This is literally so satisfying.
Orbeez are usually harmless. Kids play with them and some people even use them to relieve stress. But in 2022, someone had a reckless idea. They started loading Orbeez into toy guns and shooting them like tiny water bullets. Except they weren't aiming them at friends. They were targeting random strangers.
That's actually kind of OP though. And then nobody's gonna know where they're at. I feel like if I was like a teenager, this is some type of shit I would do. I don't know if I would do it to a complete stranger though. Probably someone I know.
These things can shoot up to about 200, 210 feet per second.
And then it got even worse. People began freezing the Orbeez before loading them.
Or y'all are trying to cause concussions. Why does this look good though? If nobody told me that this was a toy, I'd probably like lick it. But no, this is unacceptable. You're just being an asshole at this point.
So instead of bursting on impact, the frozen Orbeez hit like rubber bullets. That made them a lot more painful and more dangerous.
These toy guns, well, they can really actually replicate a real firearm.
By March 2022, the Orbeez challenge was
Let me find out. Shit, I got slimed out by an Orbeez toy. That's not the way I'm gonna go out ever.
out of control. TikTokers across the country were shooting Orbeez at random strangers.
A new trend on social media is raising serious concern among local police departments. It involves people shooting innocent bystanders with water pellets.
Police cracked down hard, arresting teens who participated in the challenge. In one case, 4 teens were arrested. They were charged with disorderly conduct, harassment, and reckless endangerment.
Police say surveillance video showed the 4 teens pull up in a car and fire the gel pellets into a class working outside.
You would think arrests would scare people off, but it didn't. Kids kept doing the Orbeez challenge until someone lost their life.
I didn't even think that was gonna happen. Yo, RIP to the victim, but so these gotta be really painful then. I thought they were exaggerating when they said that it could actually imitate a firearm.
On June 2nd, 2022, a group of teenagers Orbeezed some guys playing basketball. But these weren't the kind of guys to laugh it off. A fight broke out, and by the time it was over, one of the basketball players lost his life. He was only 17. When the media reported the case, people finally realized how serious this challenge was.
TikTok is not reality to real life, but there's real consequences for some of those things that go on there.
That was the final straw. Police cracked down harder on the Orbeez challenge. In Kentucky, a mayor banned water pellet toys completely. Walmart, Target, and Amazon pulled Orbeez from their shelves. Even Spin Master, the company behind Orbeez, addressed the issue. They released a statement saying they had no affiliation with the gel toys and that their Orbeez products were not intended to be used as projectiles. But after all this, the Orbeez challenge didn't completely disappear.
So y'all seen someone died using Orbeez and then y'all were like, you know what? Let me get my hands on one of those. Huh?
Orbeez challenge incidents were still being reported as recently as 2024. These trends prove that some people will do anything to fit in. But just remember, the people that change the world are the ones that choose to be different. visual venture.
I think moral of the story, bro, if you're gonna try to be famous on TikTok or any platform, don't be famous for being a nuisance, and definitely don't end people's life with Orbeez. YouTube, let me know which TikTok trend you thought was the dumbest. Make sure you guys join us on Twitch. Please subscribe, road to 800,000 subscribers. All that good stuff. Join us on Discord. Waxer for life. Love y'all.